Hi, you guys. Welcome. We had some technical difficulties, and so I hopped in my car, and luckily we live close enough that I was able to run over to my friend Darcy's house, and here we are. We're going to be able to go live with you all today. So Darcy and I met probably, almost 9 years ago.
Probably about that.
Our sons are about the same ages, and so it was really easy to be friends with her. She is one of those few women I have in my life where I feel like I really could call her and text her or something, or Marco Polo. We love Marco Polo. And when I'm having a bad day, she's somebody I trust and respect and admire. But today is National Infancy Awareness Loss. And so we're going to chat a little bit about that. So Darcy, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell a little about you.
What do you want to know? You already know.
Everything. We want to know everything.
So I'm Darcy. I used to, like Shammy said, be her neighbor. Then I moved a little ways away. Then she moved farther. Although it's not that far, obviously.
Right. I made it here in like 10 minutes, 12 minutes maybe.
Good job. I have 5 kids, ranging from 14 down to almost 3.
And they're adorable and great kids. And Darcy, I am lucky enough that Darcy even lived with us for a month? 4 weeks? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And she made me a believer in the whole idea of sister wives. However, couldn't do the husband sharing thing like that. But it was so nice because we both had littles. And so we were able to, like, if one was napping, one could go run the errand and stay, the other would stay, and then vice versa. And then we took turns cooking. It was fantastic.
Yeah, she was nice to give us a home when we were homeless while we were building our house.
She was building her dream house, which we are now in. And yeah. But she moved. And then, like, 2 years later, I was like, well, I want a dream house. And so then we built ours. So anyway, so Darcy, how many miscarriages have you had?
2.
And would you be willing to share with us what that was like?
I told Shammy I would cry because I cry about everything, but she knows that already.
I do know that. But I love her, and I'm so grateful you're willing to do this because I know this is not an easy topic.
Okay, so I had my 4 kids, not crazy easy, but not as hard as a lot of people have it. I've done fertility meds and different things for my first 4. And then after that, I just really felt like there was another baby supposed to come to our family. And after doing different kinds of fertility medicine that took longer than it had before, I found out I was pregnant. I went to the doctor and saw the heartbeat. Everything looked great. But then the next time I went to the doctor, I found out that my baby had passed away several weeks prior. Sorry. That's one thing Shimmy didn't tell you about me. I cry about everything.
It's actually
Happy,
something
sad, or
I
otherwise.
love about her.
Anyway, so my husband was out of town, but luckily my mom was with me. So I had to call him and he came home. And since it had been several weeks since the baby had passed away, they decided it was best to do a D&C so that I didn't get risk of infection or anything like that. So I had my D&C the next day. And then that was in February of 2015. And then I found out later that year that I was pregnant again after doing more fertility stuff. And same thing, only I was farther along that time, the second time. Once again, I had no idea because my body didn't do any of it on its own. It was just when they went in and did the ultrasound, same thing. I'd already gone in for one doctor's appointment. Everything looked great at that one. And then when I went in for my next one, I found out that I lost the baby. Same thing, had another D&C after that one.
Which I've heard those are not great. Those are not a great experience. Is that true?
It was hard. Like for me, it was weird going into the doctor's office knowing that I still had my baby and was still carrying my baby, knowing that it passed away, and knowing that they were going to go in and remove it. And I had a nurse, actually, I can't remember if it was my first DNC or my second one. As I was laying there ready for them to prep me, I started to cry. And she was like, "Stop crying. You didn't do anything and the tears are going to get in your eyes." And or in your ears, sorry. And I was like, "I don't care."
You're like,
"You should be nice."
Yeah, there's no sympathy there. Holy moly.
I was like, "You should not have this job." But anyway, I passed out right after that. So she's probably lucky that I passed out.
Yeah. Because I think I could have had a few choice words for her. Oh man. So I've never had one that I know of. There was one time where I was late and I did pass an odd clump, which I wondered if that was a miscarriage, but obviously I never knew. I never had an appointment, never got told I was having a baby. I think that's so different versus what you experienced. And so what, for those of us who've never experienced it, what would be nice for us to maybe understand, especially when what are some maybe dumb comments people have made? Let's start with that. That's an easier one.
Some of my friends too and family that I know have had miscarriages, just to kind of get their perspective on things, because they're all so individual. I feel like they're all such different experiences. But saying things to people like something was probably wrong with the baby anyway, or you can just try again, it's fine, or gosh, I wrote some of them down.
You already have.
Yeah, you already have some. I mean, feel blessed that you do. It's not that you're not grateful for what you already have necessarily. It's just hard still, no matter what, I think. Yeah. And saying, like, people will say, "It's okay, it happens all the time." Well, I don't think that helps. That necessarily makes it. We know that already.
Right.
And so it just kind of instills more fear, I think, into you.
You know what I find interesting is before being this age, I hadn't heard hardly anything about miscarriages. And I think it's still kind of a hush hush. Mm-hmm. And I think some of that is because it is such a personal experience and people maybe are afraid of stupid comments or, you know what I mean? But like I had a sister-in-law that they got pregnant and they were newlyweds. And she'd been a little sick, which did make me wonder if maybe she was pregnant, but they hadn't announced anything yet. And when I found out she was having a miscarriage, I remember saying, "Well, that's probably for the best." And now, like, and granted, I was like 21 at the time. Like I'd had my one baby. But I feel so guilty that I even said or thought that, because it was really hard on them. Like it was really hard on them. And I just remember thinking, okay, they're so young in their marriage and they were struggling, and that naiveness, you know what I mean? And so what else though could people maybe know or better understand?
Just support them and love them and acknowledge it. I think
a lot of times, like I know for me, I didn't know what to say.
Well, and a lot of people don't. And sometimes I think people have the best intentions and they'll say things that you're like, "Why did you just say that to me?" But sometimes if you don't know what to say, maybe just say, "I'm sorry, and what can I do for you?"
And I love you, and a hug. Yeah.
Instead of, because a lot of the comments that come out of people's mouths are pretty amazing sometimes.
And I'm sure, like I'm positive I've had those. In fact, and I don't know why this keeps coming to mind, but we had a mutual friend whose son committed suicide, and I made a really, really dumb comment to one of their family members. And I still feel really, I guess I need to apologize to that person, but I'm so afraid to bring it up because it really was bad. And so you don't know what always to say. And sometimes things come out of my mouth like without thinking. And I think we're all probably guilty of that. But it is so important to be mindful and to be aware, and that loss is very real. And that experience is very difficult. And each person's is very individual. I like that you said that. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, yeah. hurting for the littles. I know, because so there's a song I love that I will share in the comments. It's called Glory Baby. I was able to attend a concert years and years ago as a youth, and it talks about people who haven't who miscarriage, and I think it's beautiful. So I'll share that. But what else? What else have you learned? What else have you, in what ways has it helped you maybe even grow as a person, even though I hate to put it that way because it's hard when loss is that way, but I do believe some things come from it in that regard.
Just makes you more empathetic for people, I think. And I haven't been the best at it, but I've tried to talk about it more because a lot of people don't talk about it. And I think that makes it so that people feel really alone a lot of the times. And I don't know. You just never know what people are going through because a lot of it, I mean, a lot of miscarriages happen when people don't even know that other people don't even know that they're pregnant. And so people just kind of suffer on their own. And I don't know. I don't even know where I got the perception, but when I was pregnant with my first several babies, like we never told anybody till I was like past that 12-week mark because I don't know. You always heard once you pass the 12 weeks, your chances of miscarrying drop or whatever. But more people knew that I was pregnant the second time when I had my second miscarriage. I still hadn't told a ton of people, but there was more people that knew. And the support that I had after that second one helped me a lot get through the second one, whereas the first one, not many people knew. And so that support just wasn't there.
Yeah. I think we underestimate the need for support and for others. And the reason I love Darcy, and I say that I actually love that she cries, is she does wear her heart on her sleeve, but she is that person in your life where she will mourn with you. If when you're struggling, we have scriptures, thank you, that say mourn with those that mourn, comfort those that stand in need of comfort, and that is what she does. That is who she is.
Buddy, I'm there for you.
She can do that. And I don't think not everybody is always willing to show that side of themselves. And I know I'm not. I know I don't like that. But
I don't like it.
Well, I know you don't either, but you don't have a choice, right? Like I suppress, like not that that's a good thing, but I'm very, very grateful that Darcy is a part of my life. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've dealt with and faced where she has been there for me and so often hasn't known it. But for those of you that are out there, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I do think there are people that say really dumb things, but I also think, and I'm pretty sure you'd agree, they're usually well-intentioned. I think a lot of people do start with good intentions and then it just somehow comes out wrong. But as it is National Pregnancy Loss Aware Infancy, I don't even know what there are many out there, and I believe many suffer in silence. And so let's make it a safe place for them to talk to others, to you. Be sure that you are a safe place. Embrace, love, connect, support. Anything you want to add?
No, just the support is huge. And if you don't know what to say, just love them.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. Darcy, thank you for being willing. She has been like messaging me like, oh my gosh, how did you get me to do this?
Never done live before.
Oh my goodness, this is your first. Another live virgin. I had one of those a couple weeks ago. My friend Cody Neville got on here and he's like, I've never done a live. And I'm like, what? I'm honored that she would do this with me. And we really should have just done it together from the start.
Neither one.
But she has a little napping. And so I was worried we'd wake her up. And so that's why I didn't. Yeah, but she's still asleep. So we're good. But I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. And Darcy, I love you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.